What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another vlog. Last episode, as you saw, we were down the street at Ameristar and we had a pretty good session. Today, it's the very next day and we're back out with my fiance, walking around Black Hawk and gambling a little bit. So check out this dude. And we're gonna hit up Monarch right here, you guys. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna try and play a little poker. She's not a gambler, but she plays a lot of slots. So let's
always win. Always.
Whatever. I don't win anything in slots and she wins, so we'll see what happens, but we'll get out there, we'll play some poker, we'll see you guys on the table. We didn't even walk in yet. Let's see how high that goes. We barely walked in. There's the door. I won. Not her, finally. It's me.
It's my business. My machine.
It's not your machine. It's my machine.
Winners. Slots, go to the blackjack table, go to roulette table, craps table, mainly slots because that's all she does. I lose all my money, all of it. How much did you buy in with? 20 bucks.
But how? But how? I've already lost $150 playing stupid slots. She throws in a little 20. Bada bing, bada. All right, guys. We know we like to look at our first hand. We look down at 8-7 of hearts. And we're going to be in the button. So we're going to throw a couple bucks in there. And just like that, we take it down. $10. And we're into the next hand. Next hand, we look at ace-jack offsuit in the button. It goes around to the low jack, who decides to make it $15. We could opt to raise it here, but with being offsuit, I decide on a flat call. And we're going to go heads up to a flop. The flop comes kind of favorable. Queen, jack, 8. Offsuit, all rainbow. So when he checks it over to us, we decide to just lead out for 20, and he quickly folds. He seemed like he didn't want to be in the hand, so we'll take a quick pot down and move on, you guys. All right, guys, in the next hand, we're looking down at king jack of hearts, and we're in late position. We bump it up to 12 and get one caller in middle position, and we're going off to a flop. Flop comes pretty favorable with the 9, 10, 3 with 2 hearts. Middle position leads out for 20, and looking at the way he's holding his cards right in front there, you guys, he just keeps playing with them. Doesn't seem too comfortable, so we're going to bump it up to 50. We got a flush draw, we got a gut shot, and 2 overcards, so we bump it up to 50, and he quickly makes the fold. Just the way he was holding those cards, felt like he didn't want to be in the hand, so a simple raise gets the job done, and we take down this pot. Get ready for a fun one as we look down at ace-queen offsuit in the small blind. We got a couple lippers down to us, and we make it 17 to go, and we get just one caller in middle position. Flop comes 10, jack, king. We flop the absolute nuts, rainbow, and we check it over. We want to see if he's caught any of it, if he'll bat into us. Nothing. We go off to a turn card. The turn is a 4 of hearts, and we lead out for $25. He makes the call. We got 2 hearts on the board now. We're going to go to a river, still heads up, and 2 hearts, like I said. So let's try and dodge one of those. The river comes an offsuit 7, and we lead out for 35, hoping that we could just get a nice little call. He ends up making the call, and we take down a nice pot. If you guys want to watch how not to play poker and make money somehow, follow this next hand. Pocket 5s and under the gun +1, and we limp in. Hijack limps in, and the big blind checks it, so we're going 3 ways to a flop. We could opt to raise pre-flop here, but with pocket fives, I decided on a limb. So we're going to go see a flop of 3, 4, 5 with 2 hearts, and we flop top set. The big blind leads out for 18, and we make another mistake here by just flat calling. With such a connected board, 2 hearts and any 2, ace deuce, deuce 6, 6, 7 could be holdings, especially with a limp pot. So we could be raising here, but for some reason I decide on a call. It goes over to the hijack, who thinks it over, and with another player behind me, again, I should be raising, but luckily he folds it down, and we're going to be going just heads up to a turn card. The turn comes an offsuit 10, and the big blind again leads out for just a small bet of 20. And again, for some reason, I just flat call instead of raising. This is always a raise, you guys. Make it 50, 55, put the pressure on him, but the turn card comes a jack of hearts, completing the flush, and he checks it over to us. So we make the next mistake of only betting 30 when it should be again up in the 50s or 60s. Luckily, he folds, saying we have the flush, which we did not. We show our cards, and we take this pot down somehow. If you guys know poker, then you know you don't always get what you want. We look down at king, queen, suited, and we're in the button, so when 2 limpers come to us, we're going to raise it to 12. The big blind makes the call, and the initial 2 limpers call as well. And we're going to go 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes 8, 7, ace, rainbow, and everybody checks around. This is where we could be doing a continuation bet, see where we stand. However, I decide on a check as I didn't feel very comfortable with my hand at this point. So once it checks to us, we check it, and the turn card is a 9 of hearts. 2 hearts now, 3 cards to a straight, and the big blind leads out for $40. Sometimes you just gotta fold and let it go, you guys. So $40 too much, we fold and move on. After the king-queen hand, we went pretty card dead for about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours. So when we looked down at 10-jack offsuit in the button, I raised it up to $8 and got 3 callers. Flop comes 6, 10, jack. Everybody checks it around to us, and we make it $17, and everybody folds. Card dead, doesn't matter. Take down a small pot, and let's hope for some cards to come our way here soon, you guys. Alright guys, let's hope to break the card deadness that we've had for 2 hours now. We look down at queen jack of diamonds and bump it up to $9. Everybody folds, but the button decides on an all-in. That's right, we haven't caught any cards, and the second we do, we have an all-in facing. So $9, he's got about 120, it looks like. I just don't feel too strong about this. Any queens, any jacks would we be drawing dead to. Obviously, kings and aces, so we're going to let this one down and move on. After about 5 hours of playing and being pretty much card dead for the most of the session, in the button, I do something I recommend you never do. I don't look at my cards. As you guys see, the 2 cards get dealt. I put the card protector and never look down at them. The under the gun player limps in, the hijack limps in, the cutoff limps in, and we're just going to make this a $19 bet. Still not knowing what we have. I was just feeling like gambling a little bit, having fun on the table. Nobody really noticed that I didn't look at my cards, so people were thinking I have some strong holdings, which I could have, especially being in the button. So everybody decides finally on a fold, and we're going to just scoop up a nice little limped $12 pot, and we're going to look at a premium. 8-3 offsuit, but we're taking it down. Alright, being card dead is over. We look at the best possible hand created, aces, and we're in great position as we're the cutoff. We bump it up to $20 with one limper in, and everybody folds. Everybody folds right as we look down at one of the best hands, so not really going to take much money here, you guys, but at least we're starting to see some cards. Alright, like I said, being card dead is over. We look at a premium, pocket kings, in late position again, as we're the hijack, and we make it $13. We only get one action player with the big blind who makes it 30, almost a min raise, so I feel like he's got a decent holding, but nothing strong as it's not a big enough raise, so we're going to bump it up. We call his 30 and do an additional 50, bumping it up to $80. And it goes back on to him. He thinks it over for a second and decides that 80 is not enough. He bumps it up to all in, ultimately putting us all in as he's got us covered. I have about 380 and he's got about 500-600 in his stack, so he's got us covered, and we have a very, very tough decision. He could be holding pocket aces, obviously. We're going to take pocket kings out of his range there as we're holding them. Pocket queens, pocket jacks, ace king holdings. And I started thinking about the action and how it played out as we made it 13 and he almost min raised to 30. And then we make it 80 and he goes all in after thinking about it for a minute. Ultimately, you guys, we've been playing so card dead, and I almost took a full gamble here instead of actually thinking about poker and decide on a call. Pocket kings, very hard to fold. You know, he's 5-betting into us, but we're going to make the call here and go off to a flop. The flop, turn, and river are going to come pretty fast as it's heads up and we're all in. And it comes as about favorable as you could ask in the form of we have runner clubs to hit the king high flush as he shows us aces, ace heart, ace diamond. So we got as lucky as you could get on a board when we're going aces against kings, but we'll take it down. We're going to double up here and end the session. All right, guys, wrapping up the session. We forgot to do an outro yesterday, so it's the next day. Got a new haircut. We're looking fresh, and we're out to lunch, filming the outro for yesterday. Good session. Everything got made on the last hand, which we got super lucky on. In for 300, out for 720, a profit of 420. Goes kings. That's about as lucky as you could get in poker. So thank you to the poker gods. We got lucky. We made some money. Stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure to like and subscribe, you guys. And as always, thanks for watching.
What up, Don? We straight doing it. Check.